What if I told you your soulmate isn't someone you find, but someone your brain creates? That feeling of meant to be. It's not magic, it's manipulation. Not by your partner, but by your own mind. Psychologists have uncovered a disturbing truth. The soulmate myth doesn't just shape love, it controls it. It makes people stay in toxic relationships, ignore red flags, and even lose themselves trying to complete someone else. And here's the kicker. The more you believe in soulmates, the less likely you are to build a healthy, lasting relationship. So, are soulmates real? Or just a psychological trap dressed in romance? We've all felt it. That electric spark, the "I've known you forever" feeling, the belief that this person was made for us. Movies, songs, and fairy tales have sold us this soulmate fantasy since childhood. One perfect person out there, waiting to fix our loneliness, heal our wounds, and make us whole. But real life isn't a rom-com, and psychology tells a far more complex and unsettling story. Studies show that people who strongly believe in destiny-based love, the whole what we were meant to be thing, are more likely to tolerate emotional abuse, avoid conflict, and give up on relationships at the first sign of trouble. Why? Because if your partner is your soulmate, any problem must be a test of fate, or worse, your fault. Meanwhile, those who see love as a choice, a daily practice of effort, communication, and growth, are far more satisfied in the long term. So why does the soulmate myth feel so real? Because your brain wants it to be. Our minds are wired to seek patterns, create meaning, and reduce uncertainty. When you meet someone who mirrors your deepest desires, or even your unhealed wounds, your mind screams, "This is it, this is the one." But that's not destiny, that's projection, and here's the hidden danger. The soulmate illusion tricks you into outsourcing your happiness. You stop asking yourself, "Am I growing as a person?" and start asking, "Do they complete me?" But no single human can carry that impossible weight, which leads us to the real question: what if the soulmate you've been searching for is actually just a mirror? Let's pull back the curtain on 3 psychological traps hidden inside the soulmate myth. Trap number 1, the idealization loop. When you label someone your soulmate, your brain activates something called confirmation bias. You start noticing every sweet gesture, ignoring every red flag, and reinterpreting their flaws as endearing quirks. This isn't love, it's cognitive distortion. And it's exactly why people stay with partners who lie, manipulate, or withdraw affection. You tell yourself, "They're just going through something," or "We're soulmates, we'll get through this." But real love doesn't require blind faith. It requires clear eyes. Trap number 2, the completion fantasy. The soulmate narrative sells you the lie that you are half a person until you find the one. But psychology shows the healthiest relationships form between 2 whole individuals. When you believe you need someone else to feel complete, you become emotionally dependent. You tolerate disrespect just to avoid abandonment. You shrink your needs to keep the so-called magic alive. But true intimacy isn't about merging into one. It's about 2 strong selves choosing each other again and again. And trap number 3, the effort paradox. Here's the real irony. Soulmate believers often put in less work. If your relationship is meant to be, why bother trying to fix it? Why communicate? Why grow? Research from Stanford University found that people with destiny beliefs were 37% more likely to break up after minor conflicts because they interpreted normal friction as proof they'd chosen wrong. Meanwhile, growth believers saw conflict as a chance to deepen their connection. And there's a darker layer to this. Narcissists love the soulmate script. They use it to fast-track intimacy, "We're so rare, so special," and create intense trauma bonds. Once you're convinced they're your one and only, leaving feels like losing your very soul. But here's the truth, your brain hides from you. Chemistry isn't destiny, it's familiarity. Often it's just your nervous system recognizing patterns from your childhood, good or bad. That soul-deep connection, it might just be your trauma saying hello. Now for the darkest twist, the soulmate myth doesn't just hurt relationships, it erases you. When you're obsessed with finding the one, you stop asking, "Who am I becoming?" You stop building a life you love outside of romance. You wait. You hope. You sacrifice your dreams, your boundaries, even your values, all for a fantasy sold by poets and profit-driven industries. Worse, the soulmate idea is culturally weaponized. It's used to shame single people, you just haven't met them yet, pressure couples to stay together, divorce but you're soulmates, and silence those who feel empty despite being in love. But psychology reveals a radical truth. You are not incomplete. You never were. The longing you feel isn't for a person, it's for wholeness, and that wholeness can only come from within. Studies on self-differentiation show that the most fulfilling relationships happen when both partners have strong identities outside the relationship. They don't fuse, they orbit. So the real soulmate isn't out there. It is the version of you that is brave enough to love without losing yourself. And that changes everything. So what now? How do we break free? First, reframe love as a verb, not a discovery. Stop asking, are they my soulmate? Start asking, do we choose each other with honesty, respect, and courage every single day? Second, become your own soulmate. Build a life so rich, so aligned with your values, that a relationship adds to it, not completes it. Things like therapy, journaling, setting boundaries. These aren't just self-help fluff. They are the foundation of real intimacy. Third, watch for the soulmate script in your own thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking they're the one, pause. Ask yourself, am I seeing them clearly, or am I just projecting my hopes onto them? And if you're single, good. Use this time to heal, explore, and define what love actually means to you, not what movies say it should be. Because here is the most liberating truth psychology has to offer. You don't need a soulmate to be whole. You already are. The right relationship won't feel like a rescue. It'll feel like a collaboration. Two humans walking side by side, not clinging for survival. So I'll leave you with this. If your soulmate makes you smaller, quieter, or less yourself, they were never your soulmate. They were just a mirror showing you what you still need to heal. Now, look in that mirror and ask yourself, who do I need to become to love without losing myself? Drop your answer in the comments. Share this with someone who's chasing a fantasy. And remember, the deepest love story you'll ever live begins with you. Thanks for watching, and if this resonated, consider subscribing for more.